What's good, people? We're back again, man. This is your boys from E.D.F. And as you see, we got the third box on the picture. So it's our ambassador series. This is an opportunity for us to spend some time to kick it with our friends, our family, one day our viewer family out here in the internet spaces. Just to talk faith and fishing. So we base this off of the scripture, 2 Corinthians 5:20, where Christ, talks about us being ambassadors for him, helping people to know and remember how good God is and how good his word is. And we simplify that here by just talking some faith and talking some fishing. So without any further ado, uh, before we introduce our guest, I got my brother with me. What's good?
Good people, CJ here.
Oh, you ain't gonna do your spill.
Nah, bruh.
All right, say less.
Say less.
We growing up, huh? Oh, sure. So, man, yeah. No further ado, man. We got a good brother of ours here with us today. We met him a few years ago in a ministry that we visit. He's a dope individual. He's a photographer. He's got a great eye when it comes to visualizations of pictures, of videos. Awesome father, awesome husband. Good dude to be around. Rocks with sports, so I like him. We can talk good sports and stuff like that, but none other than our good homie, man, Gabe. I'm not gonna do that to you. Gabe Crudup.
What's going on?
About to hit you with the full government. I ain't gonna do you like that.
Hey, listen, it's out there, I'm sure.
Hey, for sure, man. How you doing today, man?
And I can't call it, man. I can't call it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let us know, man. How did you get hooked into fishing?
Yeah, man. Honestly speaking, man, fishing just a part of my family, man. Like grandparents, great grandparents, everybody went fishing, and in our family, like the little lake fishing and all that good stuff is kind of like what you do in the meantime. But as soon as you hit 13, it's time to go deep sea fishing, right? So like I got an older brother that's 6 years older than me, right? So he went deep sea fishing up in Baltimore with my grandparents or my granddad and my pops and my uncles and all that good jazz. And he came back, you know what I'm saying, holding his fish, telling the fishing story, right? Like, oh man, I caught a fish. That joint was like this and it was crazy. And I'm in the back just like, man, yo, when I turned 13, that's a wrap. I'm about to call that smoke every right. So for a minute, man, like I was struck, like I couldn't go, right? Turned 13. And my dad was like, all right, yo, we going out. We going out Friday. So I'm like, all right, bet. I know what goes down, but like it's my first time, you know what I'm saying? So we went driving up to Baltimore, right, to see my granddad. Right, so we get up there early in the morning. We all lay down in his basement or whatever, sleep. And mind you, like I'm sitting with the goats of my family, my uncles, my pops, my granddad, right? So like everybody chilling. Yeah. And we get up in the morning, right? Drive to the water stop and get you something to eat. I'm like, yo, I need this Dramamine because I ain't trying to embarrass myself. So take the Dramamine, man. Get out there. And mind you, man, we hitting the water 3:00 in the morning, right? So as we riding out, my old guy, Captain Stanley, man, I walk up, a big sticker on his boat, say no bananas, all right? It's bad luck. If you bring a banana, you're not catching fish. I'm like, all right, cool. We get on. And we riding out. As we're riding out, man, I'm seeing the dolphins like riding beside us. Man, I'm stoked. When we went out there, we started fishing. Man, I loved it. Ever since that day, like, I mean, just being there and chilling with my pops and my granddad and my brothers and all that good jazz, man. I was hooked at that point, right? Like I was already ready to go. And I went every single time. After a while, like I can talk my little cash, right? Like, yo, I'm gonna outfish everybody today. Like I'll call my mom back at home. Yo, I'm about to outfish everybody. Just wait till the story come back to Raleigh, you know what I'm saying? And she like, all right, cool, whatever. But it was one time, listen, deep sea fishing in December, man. It was a rocky water, pulled cars. I got the lowest car, that mean I can go first. Of course, the old heads on the boat was tight. Well, it was upset. So I'm like, it is what it is. Yep. I caught this fish. I got a picture of it somewhere. I caught this fish. I wrestled with this fish for 2.5 hours, bro. 2.5 hours. Finally get my man's, it was a rockfish. Finally get him in. got him in. My pops was like, hold him up, take a picture. Like, yeah, I can't, man. I got noodle on. I can't. He like, hold it up. Like, hey, listen, I can't. Man, I put that drink in the cooler, put my name on it. That's all I remember. I want to sleep for the rest of the fishing trip. I don't know nothing else that happened on that fishing trip.
Wow.
So, ever since then, man, I've been loving it, man. I go every time I get a chance, man. Every time.
That's dope, bro. That's like a rite of passage for you then, huh?
Right. Oh, for sure, man. I can't wait for mine to go.
Okay.
Wait.
That's cool. That's the first time I ever heard a story where it's, I mean, you always see it kind of like in movies or whatnot, but that's dope. There's like the older members of the family kind of bring you along at that certain age, so you got something to look forward to. That's dope.
It's crazy. I mean, listen, it was a time where like I kind of almost like you respect it before you get there, right? Everybody can't go, everybody can't last, right? So, it's just a dope feeling, man. I'm seeing if I can pull up a picture, but it was a dope feeling, man. Ever since then, I was hooked. I was like, yo, I'm going every time you go. So even now, man, my pops a call. Hey, man, I'm off for work. Can you get off of work? I'm going tomorrow. Hey, listen, all right, bet. Hey, I won't be here tomorrow, so I'm about to slide to the water real quick. I slide back whenever I get a chance, but right now I'm going fishing with pops for sure.
For sure.
Hey, and for a brief moment, I thought you was talking about Gullah Gullah Island, because a man named Captain Stanley. His name is Captain Stanley in the show. I said, Captain Stanley, boy. My man riding around. He from South Carolina. He in Baltimore now. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, listen, Captain Stanley, and Captain Stacy, man, wrong names up in Baltimore. Like them jokers will get you there and put you on a fish. I'd be like, yo, ain't nothing out here, Captain Stanley. Like ain't nothing here. He'd be like, hey, start to the side, boy. I got you. 2 seconds, pull it up. Stuff out here. I'm like, all right. I gotta keep fishing. I got you.
That's crazy. Transitioning to our next question, man. What's your testimony of how God called you so you can now catch others?
Yeah, man. I grew up in church, right? So from the time I was born, I was always in church, right? Pops was a minister turned into an elder after a while, and my mom was an usher, right? So we went to church. Tuesday night Bible study, Thursday night prayer, Sunday afternoon. So I grew up in church. So to be honest, like early growing up, I thought I was good, right? Like I was like, y'all, I go to church. I don't, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So like in my mind, that's my one-way ticket straight to heaven. I'm good, right? Like I believe, I feel like I gave my Christ at a young age, so I was cool. And then I hit high school. And high school is a time frame where like you no longer go to school with all your neighborhood kids, right? Like you go to school with people from different neighborhoods that's almost on different timing, right?
Yeah.
So I got into some nonsense, man. When I say some nonsense, right? To the point where like I lost focus of who I was, but like I can still feel it tugging. Right, like I'm like, y'all, I know good and well I shouldn't be doing this, right? But in my mind, it's like everybody else doing this, so why not, right? So my brother, he cool, so I'm just about to hang out with him, and I feel like everything he did, I did. But like deep down inside, I would feel this tug, right? Like a Wednesday night or Tuesday night Bible study. My mom, after that, we had the little chirp, the little next tail chirps. Right?
Yeah,
I was hanging with my brother. And we chilling, and he like, yo, hey, when mom call, I'm not going home. Like I'm gonna say that we too far, we can't make it back in time for Bible study. So I'm like, all right, bet I'm gonna do the same thing. All right, so my mom chirped, hey man, y'all better get to the house. We about to leave in 10 minutes. If you don't go to church, I got something. You come back. I'm like, I ain't going. So I said, I ain't going. All right, cool. I got something for you. Man, that thing ate me alive. Boy, the whole time, like, man, if I can run, I can make it. I can get in the, I'll be good. And I kept pushing aside. So after a while, man, I ended up running back to the crib. And of course, like I went to church, right? So that's just the moment of it pulling me. I got into some deep stuff in school wise, like I was messing up in school, but then also I was in some neighborhood things that was going down. And at that point, like I was tired of everything, right? Like I was like, yo, I don't feel like I'm smart at all, right? Like I don't feel like I'm living up to what I'm supposed to be.
Gotcha.
And I called pops, and I was like, yo, like it's a lot going on. I don't know what to do. And my pops was like, yo, of course I didn't give him the great details at the time. I was like, yo, stuff is going on. Like I just need some help. He was like, yo, I need you to go pray about it, and then after you pray about it, like just kind of leave it to Christ. I said, all right, bet. So I ended up having a prayer where I was like, all right, it's probably the most hoodest, most nonchalant prayer I think I ever did. But I was like, all right, Lord, if this is real, right? If this tug is for a reason, right? I need you to almost put me back into this straight way, right? Now, of course I'm a work, right? But to be honest, all the guys that came before me that was trying to work to get back into this straight and path, right? It wouldn't work as easy, right? So I'm like, all right, Lord, I hear you. Mind you, I messed up in school, right? Like first 3 years to the point where I was projected to graduate like 2.5 years like later than in the class that I came in with, right? So I was all messed up.
Oh wow.
And then I started to like almost lose a taste to like go outside and go hang out with everybody else, right? Like I started to chill inside a lot more. I started to study. God put a girl in my life who was now my wife, who was like, all right, yo, this is the standard of like what we're going to be doing, right? And I started focusing on God and started focusing on school and all that good stuff, and God switched it up to where I can graduate a semester late. Like I had one class that I had to get through, right? So I could have graduated on time, but hey, I take a semester late. And then all the neighborhood stuff that I was kind of wrapped up in, like God just pretty much like pulled me out of it in a way that a lot of people don't get pulled out, right? So at that moment, I was like, all right, there's something there, right? Like I understand. And then from there, like I would go to church and I would actually listen, right? Like I wouldn't be on my phone in the back. Like I would legit listen. And stuff would stick to me. And it was almost intriguing to like hear all of these stories that I was told as a kid. But now like I'm almost fact checking everything that pastor is saying, and that's deepening like my relationship. And then I got hooked from there. Hit the streets running from there.
That's dope. What's the time frame of this? Is this high school or college?
Now this is let's see. This is high school. So this is 06 to 2010, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. 2010 I graduated. I went to like Wait Tech, and I was trying to like do some things there, but still didn't know what I wanted to do. Another one of those prayers, like, hey God, I need you to kind of take control over this, right? Like I spent a couple semesters at Wait Tech. I was in a situation where in my mind I'm like, all right, cool, I just want to work. I just want to get to it, right? Because I just want to get a job at this point, right? And start making money on my own. And I was like, all right, God, if you really want me to go to like school, right? If there's a point for me to like actually go to a college, like take control over that situation, right? Like move me and mold me in whatever way that you feel is necessary. So I prayed it, and to be honest, it left my mind. I didn't think nothing about it. I was like, all right, cool, this is what it is. I'm working at the Y at the time, and it's a summer camp time. So like my mom called me and she like, I got something to tell you. Call me back. I was like, yo, I'm thinking something happened. So call mom's back. Hey, so I got you in the shower and you move in tomorrow. I was like, what? Huh? What? Wow. Tomorrow? And she like, yeah. So I need you to come home and we're gonna like get all your stuff. Like you move in and then you start from there. And mind you, at this time, I'm probably older than everybody that's on my college campus, right? Like I'm old. I'm engaged, right? Like I'm about to be living on college campus, being engaged with all the other. Like it was a weird time, but God orchestrated it all, right? Like He legit orchestrated everything. Like I ended up buying my own car. I ended up moving on. I ended up like getting around some guys that almost had the same like spirit as me, right? Like not on the hey, let's go and do college things, but let's hang out. Let's talk about sports. Let's talk about our faith, right? And we still cool to this, right? So that's kind of how that whole thing orchestrated. I ended up getting married the end of my sophomore year, 2016, and then yeah, man, like God has just been showing favor ever since then, even in dark times, right? Like I I have moments where like I'm stressed out and I'm like, all right, yo, this can't be what life is supposed to be. But then I think about stories where like people in the Bible may not have a lot of guidance, but they just gotta trust in God. And at that point, like I kind of turn my mind around to focusing straight on faith. It's good to go.
Dope, bro.
Yeah, man.
Dope, bro.
So,
Amazing.
so I would add, let me ask this during those stressful moments, what for those that will be tuning in and listening, that's in high school and in college, what advice could you offer them during those stressful moments and a time of wavering? What would you offer them? What could you offer them?
Yeah, I think baseline is prayer being your foundation, right? Like a lot of people think of prayer as in like I'm coming to you like this and I'm praying, and yes, like that's a great way to pray, right? Or I'm kneeling down or whatever it is, like yes, like that's a form of prayer, right? But I think as a kid, especially after I got my car, even to this point now, like even when I'm stressed out now, I do it. I would get in my car and I drive, and in my mind, God is in the passenger seat, and I'm having a full blown conversation, right? And I'm talking, I'm letting it all out as much as I can. I'm crying, I'm doing whatever it is, but I'm talking like He is in my passenger seat. And I think the most important part is once I get everything I need to say out, I don't turn on my music or I don't bust a U-turn and go ahead and take it back, right? Like I keep driving. I drive in still silence, right? And give God that opportunity to have that conversation or to respond. And then sometimes He may not respond that night, right? But I'm still given the opportunity of if it happens, like I want to be ready. I don't want any distraction. So I think my number one advice, man, is learn how to pray, right? That's the foundation of everything. Learn how to communicate, right? Like I tell my kids now, and I have a dope opportunity, man. I work with a lot of teens and elementary age kids through my normal job. And when I'm talking to them about things or about prayer, right, I'm always like, all right, cool. Like if you got a best friend or a girlfriend, right, they get excited when I say girlfriend because they be a head all over the place. But if you got a girlfriend and she don't call you every day, right? Like you start to get feelings of like, yo, what I do, right? Or a homeboy that you don't talk to every day, or like y'all used to talk a lot, but then now like he's kind of like off on his own thing. Like you feel like I did something wrong, and they don't even like really do anything for you. But you're talking about the person that pretty much gives you life and breath every single day and keep things orchestrating in your life.
Yeah.
And you pick up a phone like whenever you need them. And yes, that's true, but it shouldn't always come at a time of need. Like sometimes like call or pray and just be thankful, right? Have a prayer of thanksgiving, right? And then on top of that, like you just build that relationship. Like you learn more about him as much as he's learning about you, right? So that's just kind of where I say start, man. Prayer, man. That stuff will get you through.
That's good, man. I commend you too, man, because a lot of people don't understand in the aspect of prayer of giving the opportunity for God to speak to you. A lot of people approach it as you say, I need, and it's good to hear like always for people to have that understanding of you need to go in Thanksgiving too, and just be like, just go God and just say thank you, like especially while things are good and not just while bad. Like it's kind of like storing up the well tank. Like you are giving yourself faith when you do that, just because it's a reminder as well. But on the flip side of that, of giving God the opportunity to speak to you, so having a still moment, not just shooting a prayer and going off about my business. Like however that may look to you, wherever you are, just give yourself a clear mental space to be able to hear from God too. That's key, bro. That's key.
Yeah, man. I mean, a good thing too that you brought up was faith, right? Like faith is a muscle, right? Like I work out a lot, right? And I know if I don't go sit under them weights for a while, after a while I can't get up the same 225 as easy as I used to, right? But in that same sense, right? Like faith is a muscle, so I have to almost go through tough periods of my life to make sure that I'm working that muscle. I'm working what faith is, because after a while, if you don't use it enough, like you automatically think, well, I just get the blessings of God and it is what it is. Nah, man, like you gotta keep some form of faith, and that's what trials are here to do. Right? I know it's a typical Black Bible story, but like look at Job, man. His faith was crazy. Even when his own homeboys was like, "Yo, something must have happened.
Yeah.
Like, you must have did wrong." He was like, "Nah, I'm going through this and it sucks, and I'm really going through it." But even in his time frame with God, like he kept it real with God too, right? Like that's a major thing. Faith and prayer. I mean, that'll preach on his own, but faith and prayer, man, is just that's your foundation of everything that can grow from it. That's a small seed that'll grow a big tree.
Yeah. All right, bet. So, hey, we about to do a new segment. It's called Quick Cast. Now, this was inspired by Gabe, to be honest. Sidebar conversation we had one day, and he kind of expressed some things we can do to enhance our show. So, so new segment called Quick Cast. Gave you the first guess with it. I got 3 questions. I'm gonna shoot them to you, man. Semi-small stories, but just be quick with your answers, okay?
I got you. Let's do it.
All right, question 1, man. What's your funniest fishing story?
We fished. I believe we were in Virginia. The roads were rocky, or the water was rocky, like super rocky, to the point where after we got our fish, they was like, "Yo, hey, we gotta go back." Like we couldn't finish. I'm talking like 2-3 hours on the water. That's it. So on the way back, we ended up getting lost. Right? I don't know how the captain got lost. We ended up getting lost, so it got dark. And nighttime hit different when you're on the water. And I got a uncle that's in the captain's corner, right? In the inside of the boat. I'm sitting on the outside. I'm interlocked in the ladder that goes up on the top deck, right? Because I'm rocky. Yeah. And my uncle is sitting to the left of the captain's joint. And my uncle is probably like 6'1", probably 390, 400, right? Like he a big dude, right? Man, and we hit a wave, and all I see is his body fall from this side of the boat to the other. And he hit his head, and he had a big knot on his head. Yo, I'm looking at my dad. I'm like, all right, if he don't crack, I'm not gonna crack. But if he cry, I'm gonna let it out, because I'm scared right now. Like I don't think we're gonna make it back. Like I'm in the distance, I see a light. I'm like, yo, hopefully that's the light that's gonna get us where we need to go. But man, when I tell you, to this day, I get on my uncle every day. Like, man, I don't think you remember that fishing trip. He's like, I remember it. I don't think you do. Because there's no way in the world you got knocked out and now you remember everything that happened. No way possible.
He was out cold.
Bro, out cold for a smooth minute. I'm talking like probably a minute and some change. And then he got up and sat down like it wasn't nothing. And man, I'll tell you, that joint was like a knot in his head. I said, yo, if it can throw him, it's gonna torch me. Like I'm a done deal.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
That's a good one. All right, man. Question 2. What's your best catch?
Best catch?
Yeah.
I caught an eel. James River, I believe. I thought I was hooked on a tunnel. Right, so I'm like, I'm hooked on the tunnel. I'm about to cut my line, but I felt it tugging back. So I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe it's something still there, right? So I ended up reeling it in, put it in, man. Nice size eel. That joke was humongous. I was gonna throw it back. I don't really like stuff that look like snakes at all, right? So I'm about to throw it back. And the people, it's a charter boat at the time, and people on the boat, it's like, yo, I give you $100, I give you $200, I give you $300 for it. So I look at my dad, and they're like, yo, it's some good eating. So I said, all right, bet. So we kept it. I put it in the cooler. Halfway through the fishing trip, man, I look down, that junk is wrapped around my leg. I'm freaking out at this point. Put it back in the cooler. Make sure the junk is safe. I promise you. If you see my pops, ask my pops about it. We leave fishing, drive to my granddad's house in Baltimore, Maryland to drop him off. Drive all the way back home the next day, open up the joint, and he is still moving. Right?
What?
I go on YouTube to see how to clean an eel. Man, the process, man, you got to screw his head to a tree and get 2 sets of pliers and pull it down.
Kind of like catfish.
Yeah. Man, we did that joint, put that back on the grill. By far the worst taste of my life. I will never eat eel again, ever. That joint tastes so nasty. I'm cool.
Why didn't you sell it? I thought you was gonna get the
Right. I
money.
thought you was gonna sell it.
Listen. I thought so too, but I'm like, all right, I got this thing that somebody else want. I'm gonna see what's to it.
Nah.
To this day, if I could go back, I would be arching that bad boy off in my hand. Like, all right,
Yes,
I got
sir.
200. I got out of there.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. That was a unique catch for real.
Dang. All right, man. Last one. Where the inspiration came from, man. Got a dream trip, fishing trip, all expenses paid for. Where you going?
Yeah. Oof, I got two. I've been thinking about this bad boy since I heard the question. Number one, I want to go to Alaska and fish, man. I want to go to Alaska and legit fish, like out there for a couple of days on the ice and like do it, man. I want to do it. I want to do it.
Brothers ice fish.
Listen, I'm gay.
Gay. We don't ice fish. We don't ice fish.
But we don't know what's out there. It could be something that's fire, and we'll never know.
Never know.
Listen, I'm gonna have a full heater in that an extension cord across the ice or something. I'm out there.
Hey, I told Chakoi, I was like, I seen videos, bro. Them people, bro, they be out there with cabins, electricity, heat, everything, bed, chairs, you name it. I mean, you are on the lake now. You on top of a lake. That's my only thing is I gotta get over that. But it's comfortable. You can make it comfortable.
No,
that's all I know.
Y'all two boys gonna hear that ice crack, and I don't want to hear nothing about it. Y'all gonna hear that ice crack.
Also inside my DNA, I can run a little fast, right? So I'm gonna get up out of there. That bad boy started cracking, I'm gone.
I don't know about that's on ice though.
Right, but the crazy part is being in a place that cold, it freezes back, but you can hear it crack. It's not like the fact that you're gonna fall or anything. It's cracking underneath you, but it's like the knowing that you still fine, but it's gonna crack. That's the part for me. Like, hey, I ain't got time for that. We don't do that.
If me and a quick cast for you, if we say, all right, we going tomorrow, you down?
Nah. I'll see you from the bank.
Man,
I'm scared.
I'm game.
I'm scared.
I'm 60%, man. I'm over 50 at this point. Because I've seen the fish, I've seen the setups. I'm like, I would definitely want to try that. Now, as CJ said, getting over the fact of hearing the ice crack, the possibilities of the ice falling through, because you 40, 50 feet of water below you, maybe even more. Like that's mind-boggling. But I think the experience will be dope, though. I'm down to try it. I am.
If I go, I'll never sleep. I wouldn't sleep. My eyes would be wide open. Wide open.
That's true. I rather sleep when I fish anyway. I sleep in my little chair, but I'm sleeping like this. Just in case something nibble, I'm on. We good.
No. Y'all can have me.
That's funny.
That was funny. That was funny.
Second one, this is a little mind-boggling, right? This right here is a little far-fetched. A cruise ship, right? Cruise ship, fully stocked. The buffets, all that good jazz, because you got to have something for the wife and the kids to go do. Sure. But 7 days, and I can fish whenever I want to off the side. Whenever I want to off the side. I'm game. That's a lot of money private cruise ship. But hey, listen, if any millionaire out there that want to do a fishing trip, call me. I'm game. Let's do it.
So more like private yacht.
See, but I would imagine like all of the homies, like everybody.
Oh, y'all right? Big enough to do that.
Yeah, I'm thinking bring all the little hood kids. I'm thinking bringing everybody that want to fish. Let's all go together. Let's have a turned up time on the water.
My thought process is a cruise ship is you gonna be off that water. Like, cruise ships they ain't all that fishable. I mean, they can open up the side door and you just got this little door to fish from. But I dig it though. I dig it though to be able to take a mass group of people and just be able to kick it on the water. I got it. I got it.
Yeah. And I don't know charter fish. I hate charter boats with a passion, especially community coolers. Oh my God, that's one way to get me out of a thing. Say it's a community cooler, I ain't going.
Explain that. I've never been on a charter boat. That ain't my cup of tea. So explain a community cooler.
So a charter boat is simply, it's a boat to where if you don't have a captain hookup, like I can just pay my money to walk on a charter boat and he gonna take us to all the spots. Now up here, it's a gang of people, right? So you legit fishing like this, right? So it's two types of coolers. I catch whatever I catch and I put it inside my cooler. Unless you're going for red drum or something like that, a snapper or whatever, then they'll put that up on the string and they'll put your name on it so nobody won't take your fish. Right? So whatever I catch is what I keep. Now, community cooler is everything goes inside of one big cooler, and at the end of the day, everybody just split the amount of fish, right? So if I get up there, if me and my wife go and then we take my son Deuce, right? And let's say every man that came on board is entitled to 75 fish. I get my 75 and my wife get my 75. But then even if Deuce didn't like fish at all, he still gets 75 too. Right? So it would be guys up there that would have kids and they wives is up there eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and sleeping in the captain's joint, and they'd get off the boat with a cooler of fish like they've been fishing this whole time.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm cool. Anytime somebody say community cooler, listen, I go off the bank or I go down to the fish market and get my fish for the day, but I'm not about to do that, John. Can't do it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I appreciate that knowledge.
Yeah, listen. Wow.
I appreciate that knowledge. No community coolers here.
No community coolers. Private charters, right? Private.
Man, listen, you can afford it, go for it, man. They ain't cheap. It's fun.
I don't. Sure. That's another one that we got to put on the list to do. To me, I don't think I'm gonna be all that hype about being in the choppiness of water. Now I'll get on the boat in the lake, but the ocean is a different beast, bro. That movement.
It depends. It honestly depends on how the water is, right? Like you get out there and the water look like glass, and like you just sitting on concrete and you just fishing, and it's a stillness in the water. But also on the second half of that, you get out there and you start seeing waves, and you gotta like fish with your arm wrapped around the junk, and you walking back and forth. Fishing, man. If y'all ever want to go on a charter boat, let me know, man. Cause my pops go a lot. Let me know, man. We can do it. And it's a little bit easier, like bass fishing, like you gotta know the science around bass fishing, right? Like, all right, the water is this, I'm gonna hit this bait or whatever it is, I'm gonna go over here on this. And deep sea fishing like that, I mean, you just like chasing the school. As soon as you find a school, you stick with it, you anchor down, or you float with them, drift with them, and you just hit it all day.
Good stuff.
For sure, man. Well, brother, man, we appreciate your time. CJ, you got anything else before we wrap up?
No, sir.
All right, man. Well, Gabe, man, thank you once again for your time, brother. We appreciate your testimony. Definitely appreciate your fishing stories, bro. It's great episode, bro. Great episode, man. And as we get ready to close out here, bro, just simply want to give a reminder to people that, you know, we are ambassadors because of our everyday faith and our everyday father and friend. And because of that, around these parts, dog, we say live life the everyday way, bro.
Right, it's the everyday way.
Everyday way.
All right, man. Until the next time, people, we'll catch y'all. Appreciate it. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, 1 second. Remember to like, follow, share, and subscribe. Yeah, there we go. I'm trying to get there. But until the next time, bro, we'll holler. Y'all be easy.
Peace.